Hello. This is the One Episode Rule, a podcast about first impressions. I am Magpie, completely fallen off the anime wagon. Just,
Ooh,
just, just haven't been watching anything. Been working on projects and things, and have not had time to indulge in, say, more Golden Gun.
oh man, the Golden Kimwe. The treasure is waiting for you. Just like
I've got to get the treasure.
you've got to kill more people and skin
if
them.
if that's possible, as I wade through bundles of human skin. I'm
What
kind of
if
scared to start the next season because I know the next season is where they have the
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 beat
the,
off?
the ejaculate fight.
That does happen. Golden Kamui sure is
And
something.
that's distressing.
I listen, you'll make it through. Hello, I am Joey. I also unfortunately fallen strongly off the anime bandwagon. I got powerful last week where I caught up on a couple of animes, but then this week I listen, it's been a lot. A lot's been happening for me. I will get back to it eventually, but it
There's
wasn't
stuff
this
going on.
time. Yeah, not this time. Maybe next time. We'll talk about
Not this
anime
time.
soon.
We made it
Um,
up.
we made it. Do you have
Our
like
writers made it up. And
cool
and
things?
also there's the news that it's just us.
It's just us. Listen. We're like we're little two
The
little guys
terrible
on a ship.
the
We're
terrible twosome.
being buffeted by a storm. You can't call us that on our pod. Like, I
The
mean,
indefensible duo.
the 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 explosive. Uh, the I got nothing. Please news.
Where
I'm in
were
a
you
ship in
going
the
with that?
storm. We're dying.
The
We're dying,
explosive, huh?
Squirtle. We're gonna die.
I'll
Please.
give you I'll give you some notes.
Okay.
I'll throw you this life preserver.
Okay. Whew.
Um
Got it.
uh Gege Atakame, Echiro Oda, and others have bid farewell to My Hero Academia and its author
Yep.
after its 10-year run. That shit is over.
Yep.
Finished. People are mad.
Why?
I didn't look deeply into it, but many people are mad about the ending.
Uh,
Uh,
oh,
and there are many suggestions that it kind of ruins Deku's character arc.
okay. Well, I mean, I don't know anything about it, but people are always gonna, at least a few people are always gonna be mad about any ending, I feel like. I
Yeah, but
don't,
it seems like, from what I can tell, it seems like they have like a valid point.
okay. Well, sometimes people can be right about those.
Um,
I don't know anything about it. Proceed with spoilers with your own cautions, I guess.
yeah, the basic gist of it seems to be that it kind of undercuts any character growth he had
That's
by
tragic.
making him very passive. Um,
Oh, yeah, I see.
which is a shame. But running a manga for 10 years is a hell of an accomplishment anyway.
Sure.
Um,
And it seems like it was, it had a lot of good stuff to it at the very least.
it had a giant lady in it.
It did have a
Um,
giant lady. My God, she was so
okay,
big.
we've got more news. American
Okay.
anime fans are finally getting access to Japan's biggest online flea market, Mercari.
Oh,
It is going to have an American, like an
an American extension.
English facing marketplace, uh,
Okay.
allowing us to access all of the shit that was only ever sold in Japan.
Okay, that's fun.
If somebody wants to put it
They'd
on
gotta
an
list it
we
there, I assume.
Weebay.
Weebay. It can't be
Um,
called that.
uh, this is particularly interesting given the economic differences in Japan and America right now.
Right. Yeah, the yen is not doing as hot as it used to.
Although not to turn this into an economics podcast, but they're actually kind of damaging our economy bad.
Ah,
Um, they have tired of being the world's source of cheap money. But
fair.
anyway, moving on. Uh, three Junji Ito horror stories are going to have been confirmed to get be in the works for live action movies.
Live action.
from
Cool.
Fangoria Studios. Uh,
Cool.
let's see. We already knew about Bloodsucking Darkness
I
was going to be a film, and also the Mystery of the Haunted House Parts 1 and 2 will be joining it
ooh,
as
cool.
part of this project.
That's
It
fun.
is this is indie film, so maybe not highest budget shit, but I'll
I
definitely watch it. I don't
honestly,
care.
honestly, sometimes indie stuff goes like hard, like way
Mm.
harder than it has any right to. So like, I don't know. I'm tentatively excited. I don't know the actual stories behind them, honestly, but
Yeah, I haven't read these
yeah,
ones,
Junji
but
Ito's got some fun
Junji Ito.
ideas.
Um,
Mr. Ito-san.
and finally, I normally wouldn't cover shit like this, but this is somewhat notable. Kimi ni Todoke from Me to You is going to return with a season 3 after a hiatus of 13 years.
Oh, what's that? I don't.
That is a popular romance anime from
Oh,
13 years ago.
I see. That's a long break.
Um, yeah, so I think we ought to watch it sometime because
Yeah,
if people tormented them for 13
for
years to get
13
another season,
years.
there must be something to it, right?
God, maybe there's hope for more kaiji after all.
Maybe.
Please, please, please. I think
Um,
it's been a lot longer than 13 years for kaiji.
so so you want to know?
Yeah, you got something for us? You
I
had an
figured
idea?
since I think I figured since Blackle isn't here, we would watch something that we couldn't watch because Blackle was here. When I brought it up the first
Oh,
time.
wait, are we watching the train show? Are
Yes,
we watching the train girls show?
I think we're gonna watch Train to the End of the World.
Oh, fuck. Okay. I don't know what this is. I have no idea what this is, but I'm excited.
Let's find out what it is.
Let's chugga chugga.
Dun 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 choo choo train.
um,
I didn't expect it to actually be the chorus.
that is, yeah, they did just say it in there. They did.
Choo
Choo choo
choo
train.
train.
Yep.
I'm gonna
I'm like,
read.
damn, it
I'm
sure
gonna read
is.
the intro blurb for this.
Okay, let's lay it on us.
The introduction of 7G network technology promised miraculous technological advancements. However, the aftermath of its launch plunged Japan into chaos. From dramatic changes to the terrain to bizarre mutations among people, the way of life is overridden with new rules. The town of Agano is one of the few remaining settlements, and its citizens, aged 21 and above, have transformed into animals. Shizuru Chikura, a high school student from Agano, is desperately searching for her friend, Yoka Nakatomi. Coming across a picture in the newspaper placing Yoka in Ikebukuro, Shizuru starts packing for a trip. But with public transportation effectively shut down, her options are limited. Fortunately, Tairo Zenjiro, a senile old conductor and the only human adult in town, comes to the rescue when he teaches her how to operate an abandoned train. With her destination set, Shizuru ventures off on a journey to find her missing friend. On the day of her departure, however, her other classmates, Nadeshiko Hoshi, Reimi Kuga, and Akira Shinonome, decide to tag along at the last minute as they embark on this one-track adventure that might expose them to dangers far surpassing anything they have ever encountered in Akano. That's it. That's the
That's
episode.
that's the show.
Except it
This
leaves out so much nuance.
yeah. Because like, okay, you could read that summary and you'd be like, well, that sounds silly and whimsical.
Mhm.
This is like an apocalypse show.
Yeah,
Um,
this is an apocalypse. The world is over.
okay, it's funny because the blurb specified Japan, which I think is really fucking funny. Because like, if this is only happening there, and
Yeah,
the rest of the world is just
if
like,
it's
oh, we're just gonna.
if it's like a localized phenomenon, they do like like you just have the American news just being like, "Well, that shit ain't over yet."
Well, also, like, I don't. Did they? Is it something where dimensional reality has shifted in such a way that the rest of the world can no longer reach this area?
Yeah,
Because they did mention, like, places are like distorted, like distance-wise,
Mhm.
so they're
Yeah.
stretched impossibly far apart. So maybe,
I have
maybe
theories about this.
this
Um,
is like Dark Tower-esque.
I have theories about this, but let's talk about
Yeah,
like what actually happens in the
maybe let's
show.
have like a little rundown.
'Cause we open on like relative normalcy in the heart of
Oh,
Tokyo.
we get relative normalcy for about like 10 seconds, is what I'll say.
What is that guy's name?
Oh
I've
God,
gotta remember that guy's last name, but
I don't
I'll
remember.
I'll look it up. I'll look it up while I'm talking. But we see we're basically on the streets in
Mm-hmm.
Ikebukuro, and we follow a young girl. She's clearly getting ready to board the subway, and she
She
pops
steps
her
through the turnstile or whatever.
pops her ticket in, and confetti
Ding, ding,
because
ding, ding, ding.
because she's about to be abducted. Um,
Get owled. An owl, just like an
yeah,
owl statue, just zoops down and like catches her, and like this is
it's
a
like
very bizarre scene.
a big paper mache owl carried by like 4 drones,
Yeah,
and it just scoops her. It drops down on top of her, and whenever it raises up, she's just gone. It has abducted her from the train station.
when I say like 10 seconds, I mean this shit happens fast. She's gone.
And it takes her. It fully flies her ass to the top of a building
Yeah,
nearby, like a skyscraper nearby, where there is an event going on because it turns out she's been abducted by a fucking Pokemon villain.
congratulations, you've won.
Congratulations, you've won. You are the I think it's like the
Seven
seven
seven seven seven
seven.
seven.
I think it's like you are number 777 uh 777.
Yeah, he says a lot of sevens in the cat in the you
This guy
can
is
hear him saying it. It's very funny to hear.
this guy is wearing a white suit. He has green hair with highlights, and his name is fucking Poison Pontero.
Yeah, that's it.
He's wearing a yellow tie and a black shirt, like he's a fucking Lupin the Third character.
He immediately begins talking about all the fake news about the
People
7G
doubted
network.
us. People doubted 7G. 5G, that shit. Fuck 5G.
It's
6G,
7G,
late to
baby.
the party. It's 7G. Transfer of information at the speed of thought. And you don't get a chance to really process what he's saying because he's saying it so fast, and you are in the position of this character's name is Yoka. You've been abducted to cut the ribbon on 7G, and you don't know what the fuck is happening. What do
Yeah.
you expect out of 7G? What do I expect? Yes.
Yeah.
um, and before she knows it, a big like slab rises up out of the roof in front of
Oh
her with a
god, it's
big button
so
that just says
ominous.
7G on it, and everybody's just like, yeah, yeah,
Bring the
unleash,
future.
bring the
Bring the
future, and
future.
she doesn't do anything, and he's like, bring the future.
Do it already.
um. And yeah, she's just like, oh, fuck, I'm sorry. And she pushes the button. So, what we didn't really get a chance to process because it was going through so fast is all of the infographics showed people being connected specifically. And this leads
Yeah.
into my theory of what is happening here,
Yeah, yeah,
which is
yeah.
we are not doing electronics anymore. We are connecting people's thoughts
Yeah.
to each other. We have created the fucking noosphere from Stalker.
Oh god.
There's going to be anomalies, and yes, there are immediately. As soon as she pushes the button, everything begins to warp and twist around her.
Yeah, this scene artistically is
It's fantastical.
it's very fun to watch and also fucking terrifying
Hmm. Like
because like
mushrooms sprout out of the building next door.
everything like all of the buildings like twist and
They
turn
start
like
curling in on themselves.
yeah.
And she immediately unpresses the button for a second. And as soon as she does, it starts like reverting back. And she's like, oh God, no, this is worse. So she
Yeah.
pushes the button again.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And yeah, by the time it's finished, like the building she's on is wooden,
Yep.
planks coming up like an old ship.
Yep.
And all we have, the only ones standing are her and Poison Pantera, whose response is to say, "What the f-
Yeah. He's like, eh?
Echo?"
Like, this
And
isn't what I was expecting.
and then we get the intro. Dun 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 dun, dun
Dun,
choo
dun,
choo
choo choo
train.
train.
Uh,
Yeah,
because
it's pretty catchy.
it's time to chill out a little.
Yeah.
It's time to see the effects 2 years on. And
Yes, we're going for more of a soft apocalypse moment here.
we go for a yeah, we're going for a fucking Yokohama
Uh-huh.
Kaidashi thing.
Kinda.
But but yeah, we're gonna go to the town of Agano. I forget exactly where Agano is. I think it's a real place. But
Probably. I think so.
but maybe I'm talking out of my ass. Um
Uh,
but yeah, we get some like local talk about Agano. Actually, wait, is the first thing her conversing with the teacher? Yeah, it is. It is.
yes.
Because we come down on the town and somebody's clearly at a career planning thing for school, and we don't see her. We only see her teacher, who is an iguana.
Yep.
And he's just like, what do you? How am I supposed to accept this when you give me answers like this? And we cut to the sheet that she's handed over, and the answers are all, where do you see yourself in 5 years? What do you expect to do? And all of it is look for her.
Yeah.
It's like, are you even thinking about your future? Which is a really arrogant
It's,
question to
it's
ask,
really something to
motherfucker.
say
The
when you
world is
learn their,
over.
and also when you learn their situation.
Um, so we cut away from that to an alleyway where many animals are conversing. It
Yep,
almost feels
there's
like
like
speculative fiction or like social commentary. But
I didn't even catch the iguana thing, so when they went into the alley and there was just like animals, I was like, okay, we've got beasts. And then they
got
started
beasts.
talking to each other, and I was like, whoa, hold on.
So primarily our characters here are like a toucan, a capybara, and a and a sun
A
bear
sun bear.
just talking about events going on.
Mm-hmm.
It's just be like, oh hey, I thought you two got into a fight, and they sort of naturally lay out all of the local drama that's meaningless to us, and B, mixed in the actual circumstances we care about.
Yeah, I don't mind this as a framing device. Sometimes
Eh,
I'm like it's not I would say it's not the most elegant storytelling like thing of all time, but I don't,
it, it,
this is as
it
good as any.
Well, it works here, like,
Yeah, it
because
works
I'm not
here.
even mad about it. It just sounds like old people bitching, which
Yes,
is
which is like realistic.
which is very grounded and kind of almost comforting.
Yeah.
Because yeah, if this happened here, it would be four pigs talking shit about their grandchildren while playing dominoes. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, they sort of talk about all the local gossip, and it's just like, hey, you met up with your wife yet? It's just like no. And it's just like, what did you do, man? Did you grumble about her cooking? It's just like, well, I'm a bear and she's a muntjac. We have completely different tastes now.
Yeah.
We can't eat the same thing.
I'm just
um, and we
we'll have to have a moment to talk about the implications of people becoming animals because there's
oh
some
yeah.
horror here.
Um, but they get around to talking about how like their only really real contact with the outside world is coming pretty soon. The Black Leopard like delivery company,
Yeah.
and they're waiting around for that because the local circumstances aren't as bad as they could be. People just turn into animals whenever they turn 21 and 3 months old.
Yeah. But they
Sometimes
still get to be like generally they get to think, but like that'll
uh,
become questionable later.
um, now it could be worse. There's apparently places where everybody turned into trees. Um,
Yeah.
uh, and there are some implications whenever the delivery company shows up that
Yeah,
suggest things
there's
could be much fucking worse. Um,
well, yeah, we'll get to that as well.
but yeah, as we get into this, several young human girls wander in.
Just
Um,
some anime ass looking,
we are
girls.
being introduced to our co-protagonist.
Yes.
They're having a funny conversation
Mm-hmm.
about eating shit initially.
And bugs?
hurry,
Bugs
and
are okay.
oh yeah. Well, it's just like if you're so hungry, the one of the old ladies was like, if you're so hungry, you can have some of my crickets if you don't mind. It's like, oh no, crickets are not cute, and they're
They are
just like,
nice.
what do you mean cute? It's just like what? It's like they're perfectly good sources of protein, and she's just like, we get a harvest of rice and melon in this village every 6 weeks. I am fine.
I am not eating bugs.
The
And you
only
know what?
thing
Understandable.
the only things I need are cuteness and adventure. And I'm just like, good for you. So yeah, we've got like we got like a Gyaro girl. That's
Yes, yes,
Raimi.
yes.
She's not gonna
Mm-hmm.
eat the bugs, and then
She
she's
won't eat
got
the bugs.
and then Akira is a little short gremlin who's
Yeah,
tormenting her.
gremlin-like.
Um, and they're about to get into it because she's making fun of her whenever they are separated by Nadeshiko, who is the good girl. She's a sweet
Yes.
girl with with big curly like pigtails. Um, I don't know anything about her.
Just lay it out. She seems like she's. Am I imagining it, or is she doing the like very cute but tough sort of um
Sort of, yeah,
trope? Because she
because
kind of will just like punch and break people up, you know.
she does throw them. Although I will say that Shizuru fucking executes a flying kick in a few minutes. But
Sure, but like that, it felt different.
but yeah, she's just like no fighting. Hmm. And they're just like, hey, have you heard when the trading company is going to be in? When the delivery people are going to show up? It's just like, yeah, they're late. I got like a text, and she's got like a fucking like short range
Yeah, they got
like
like
cellular device.
old, really old, like
Old
tech
tech,
looking thing.
but it seems to work. And it's just like, well, I got a text from them, so they should be soon.
Hmm.
And the bear guy has been talking about it. He's just like, God, I hope they get here soon. I'm so hungry. I get hungry so quickly as a bear. Just like I just want some meat. This is maybe my only chance in like months to get some meat. He's just like, are you really that obsessed with meat? He's just like, of course I am. Just like I want a steak. I want a raw like rare steak, maybe even like a super rare, maybe even a completely raw steak.
And
he
this is
started.
when his eyes like glaze over.
He starts to glaze over, and he's behind Nadeshiko this time, and he's just sort of like has like a thin thing of drool come out of the side of his mouth, and he's just like, oh, maybe I'll get some meat. But before he gets the chance, he does get his ass kicked by Shizuru, who's just like, "Hey, that's not cool." And he's just like, "Oh, what? Oh, shit!"
You were going
Like
full bear mode.
you went full bear mode, which, by the way, I don't believe any sun bear is going to attempt to predate on a human. I've
Yeah.
seen sun bears in zoos. It's not often that I think I could kick this bear's ass, but I could
But
kick
that's
this
the
bear's
one.
ass.
Sure. This is can we just take an aside to talk about the horrors of the animalification for just a moment? Because
Oh
some
yeah,
of
they're
these
just like
would be
animorph shit.
obligate carnivores.
Yeah, some of them are obligate carnivores. He's got it easy because he's an omnivore,
Yeah, I'm
but
saying
he
there was a
still wants
snow
the meat.
leopard in there. That
Yeah,
cat has to eat meat.
there's a panda there. He's gonna die.
That panda's not gonna make it.
He's not gonna make.
There was like a snake. I'm like, that snake would not make it.
The snake
You're
has
not
to
gonna
eat
be warm
mice.
enough. There was someone that got turned into a fucking triceratops. What the
Yeah, yeah.
fuck did
One of
they
them's
even do?
a dinosaur, which I think is very
It's
interesting.
very funny, but also how? Oh my god.
Actually, given the greenery situation in Japan, especially after an apocalypse, I think a triceratops might do very well.
I mean, I guess it's as good as any place to be turned into a triceratops.
I am just going to eat 40 pounds of kudzu a day.
Do you think any of these people got turned into like fishes and they just immediately suffocated on
I just
land?
died.
They wouldn't make it?
They wouldn't talk about it if they did. It would
I
be
mean,
too
yeah.
tragic.
They'd be like, wow, there's just a pile of them just buried back there.
There was
And the
there was a guy who recently turned 21 who apparently turned into an eye, and he's fucking inconsolable about it.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that would suck. Anyhow, we can
So,
continue.
but with the introduction of Chizuru, we can like get moving with the story because yeah, it's time for the delivery company to show up.
Hmm.
They are coming, and we get sort of an introduction to what the outside world looks like. Oh yeah, and at some point, Zenjiro passes by, and he's unusual for being the only human still left in town.
He is just
Um,
this crinkled little old
he
man. He
is
is bent over.
he is an anime. He is like an unintelligible anime old man though.
All
So
he says is choo 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 choo
choo
choo.
choo, and he follows the tracks around, and he follows the dog around.
Hmm.
And there is an actual dog running around who was just a dog,
Just
and he was never
a
a man. He's also huge for a Shiba.
yeah. He's just a big old Shiba.
He's very round. It's very good.
Good
Um,
dog.
but yeah, the delivery company shows up, the Black Leopard Delivery Company, and they're playing like a very high energy, almost idle jingle that's coming out of the tunnel, and then they come out of the tunnel and they are in fucking like Dawn of the
They're in
Dead
like
battle buses.
Mad Max like fucking vehicles of war.
They are in armored delivery trucks with fucking guns on the top
These
of
things
them.
have like spikes. They are covered in like bloodied handprints.
Yeah, that's what gets me. It's just like, oh, things could be much worse than they are in Nagano, can't
There's
they?
like
There's bloody
giant
handprints all
claw
over them.
marks across one of the trucks. Like, Jesus.
And the guys get out and they're just like, hello.
Hi.
And all the animals start pawing
Uh-huh.
over all the food and stuff. Um, Meanwhile, a guy who works there, Neko, is talking to the girls. He's just like, "Hey, I
Hmm.
brought those things you wanted. It was kind of hard to get a hold of some of them, but I did." And she got a movie book for Raimi because she can't watch her favorite movie anymore.
Uh-huh.
Because yeah, there's like no electricity, not really. There's things are powered, but electricity isn't working the same.
Yeah, no, they
Like
even say that it isn't really electricity. They say it's,
they're
what do
not
they
sure
say?
what it is.
Yeah, they call it something more
It's
akin
like
to the energy
it,
that runs along tracks.
yeah, it's like the power that runs along train tracks.
It
And
was
yeah,
like,
it's really weak. Um,
yes. We were like,
like you
well, when
can't
we run the microwave, and the refrigerator at the same time, the circuit breaker will
like
pop.
it trips the
Yeah, yeah.
breaker.
It's like, oh man.
There's no internet, there's no television. So yeah, a movie book is actually valuable.
Yeah.
Um, they bring another girl some sweet myrtle
Sweet Myrtle.
in a pot. And she's like, I
Mm-hmm.
don't even know why I wanted this. I just wanted it, so I
It
bought
just
it.
seemed nice. I
Um,
was like, good for you.
because the only thing that grows and only things that grow in Agano are fucking kudzu rice and bitter melon. That's all they apparently have to
Uh-huh.
eat.
Oh man.
Except for what they trade with the caravan, which is
Mm-hmm.
significant. They trade shitloads of rock,
Yeah.
so that's how they get by.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And Chizuru is talking to to the guy who runs the caravan, Neko, who's an eye patch guy,
Mm-hmm.
and clearly grilling him about, hey, is there any rumor of Yoka? Um, and he's just like, no, I looked into anything I could. And she's like, well, are there any rumors about like new faces in town or people leaving? It's just like, well, no, people don't. There's not a
I don't
lot of
really do that.
communication,
Yeah.
so news like that would come to us almost immediately when we showed up. Like,
Yeah.
so there hasn't really been that. She's just like, huh, well, thank you. You should let me join your caravan. He's like, absolutely not. Do you see those fucking trucks?
Uh-huh.
You are a child.
Yeah. No, it's bad out there, girl. Absolutely no.
Listen, pelican, elephant, deer, and deer delivery company, they all went down. It's just us. And
Uh-huh.
maybe not forever.
Yeah.
He would clearly be putting a child in danger doing that.
Uh-huh. Yeah, 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 yeah,
So he won't do it. He's got a moral core. Um,
yeah.
but she's quite disappointed. But
Yeah.
anyway, they go and sit down and talk about like the stuff they got in. Raimi talked about her book and stuff, and I talked about the sweet myrtle. But packed in the box with the sweet myrtle pot were some newspapers. And she's just like, wow, I didn't even know. I didn't know people still made newspapers because apparently it's somewhat current. It's from like 6 years
Mm-hmm.
ago. Uh, and there's a picture. There's a picture on the front page of fucking Poison Potaro.
Yep.
And somebody in the background that looks like Yoka, because it is Yoka.
It is. It's her.
It is proof that she is alive, which like even none of the adults seem to believe. Like they seem to think that they would never find her. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and this isn't all of the adults. I'm actually looking at the character page. It looks like a lot of the animal people. Like animal people continue to be characters in this, so they're probably going to meet
Mm-hmm.
some of the ones because they talked about how they sent a scout force. They sent some volunteers out to just see what happened to the world. Um, and like half of them got cold feet and returned immediately, but the other half never came back.
Yeah.
So they're just out there,
They're
either
out there.
dead or lost.
But
Um,
also they said that like anyone who was sort of from this town will become an animal eventually too.
I don't know
Like
where
if
they're
you
pulling this. I don't know where they're pulling this data, but yeah,
it
that's
must
what
have
they say.
happened at some
they,
point.
they must have run into somebody who wasn't in town at the time and turned into a
Yeah.
moose or something.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So
We are
that's also interesting.
introduced to many more animal characters, but don't really talk to them. There's a fucking moose and a rhinoceros walking together at
Mm-hmm.
one point. Um, but yeah. So she just breaks into a sprint. She sprints back to Yoko's grandmother's house to show her the picture, and Yoko's grandmother is a guinea
Like a
pig
guinea pig.
who's
Oh,
crocheting. It's adorable.
it's very cute.
And she doesn't speak. She doesn't have a speaking role in this, but acts better than many human anime characters
Uh-huh.
because she just has tears well up in her
It's
eyes.
it's a
And,
very
and
touching scene actually.
and later you see when they talk about her because they tap into some of the fridge horror anyway. They're just like, you know, guinea pigs only live for
Guinea
about 5 years.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm just like, no.
They're like, don't say that. And when
Oh,
they're talking about her, they cut back, and it's clear that she has cut out and framed the picture from the newspaper.
uh-huh.
Uh, she's just like she's out there. I'm gonna
Yeah.
go out there. I don't know how we get to this next scene. Is she just
Um,
walking at night?
I think she's just walking at night, like sort of thinking back to when the last time she saw
They didn't part well.
no.
Uh, for some reason. It's
Eh.
difficult to parse what kind of conversation they were having, but it was clearly
They kind of
it was
only show us the end of the conversation.
uh, and the end of the conversation was Yoko saying, "Yeah, yes, this is how I am," and starting to tear up. And Chizuru said, "Well, I don't even care about you anymore."
Yeah. And then she leaves.
Um, and then she starts complaining. She's like, "Of course I couldn't find you. I've been walking around in the forest around Agano for 2 years. You were in Ikebukuro." And while she's walking around, she actually sees the old man. Oh, and she's hanging out with the dog, which I think
Yes, the
is
dog.
great because it's Yoka's dog. And she's just like, "Why didn't you turn into a human?"
Wouldn't that be funny? Yeah.
It's like it wouldn't be weird.
Yeah.
And the dog is like, "Huh?" Big,
He's like, yeah, not how it works, buddy.
big round dog. Nothing going on in there. Dumb as a bag of hammers. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but she notices Zenjiro walking around doing his weird old man thing. He's on the tracks again, and she's just like, "Hey, that's kind of dangerous." She's like, "You shouldn't do that." Uh, and he finally says something that isn't choo choo. He says something about his cap. He's just like a cap. And something falls out of his grasp when she picks it up, and she's just like, "Huh, this ribbon is this from like a hat or something, or like a cap?" And she happens to hold it in her hand where the dog can smell it. I forget the dog's name actually.
I forget too.
Um,
It's a dog ass name.
he's a dog. He is a beast, but he alerts on it. He's just like, oh, I know where I can find this, and he breaks into a run, and the old man starts following him immediately. He's just like, oh, choo 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 choo.
Yeah, so quickly too.
Um, he's so quickly that he actually gets himself stuck in a
In a
fence,
fence, yeah. He's just like, whoop,
a
and then
little security railing.
she
The
pulls him
old phrase,
through, and he makes like a very cartoonish pop noise. She's like,
yeah, he just goes. Yeah, and the dog leads them. The dog leads them to the cab of an old train, uh, and he's clearly trying to like turn the knob and get in. She's just like, that ain't gonna work. So she shoves the double doors open,
mm-hmm,
and the dog leads them into the driver's compartment, and there's a little train conductor's cap in there, and she's just like, oh, I see. Is this what you wanted? And he sort of grabs for it, and he goes, okay, and she puts it on him, and he just says, I can't fucking believe Poison Pantaro actually went through with the 7G, and further,
I warned him.
I
I warned
warned
him
him not
about
to do that.
this.
I warned him about not taking data from people who are only concerned with profits. And furthermore, and she's just like, yo, what the fuck? You turned into a regular person.
He turns into like a young anime boy. Not
He
even like
loses
boy. He's just like a young man.
he loses like 40 years, and and she's just like uh she's like, yo, what the fuck, man? Uh, just like, and he's just like, and I won't let you take over Ikebukuro. And she's just like, Ikebukuro? He's just
And
like,
she's like,
you
eyes,
say
eyes,
Ikebukuro?
eyes. Yeah, hey,
And
you
he's
know
just
how to
like,
work
yeah.
this train?
He's just like, yes, I did. Oh, hey, she's Shiguro Shizuru? Didn't I see you fall into a ditch? That's not important.
She's like, anyhow,
You know
back
how to
to what I
run.
was saying.
You know how to run this thing? It's like, well,
Yeah.
of course I know how to conduct a train. All you have to do is, and he turns back into an old man.
Like, boop,
And she's like, oh shit.
no!
She's just like takes the hat and off and puts it back on and takes the
It
hat
does
off.
nothing.
He's just like, oh damn it, right in the middle of talking. Um uh and then we cut away from that. We cut away to is it just the
I
school?
think they're back at the school.
Yeah, it's school
The
time.
iguana is calling roll.
He's calling roll, and he's just like, Ray Mikuga, and she's like, here. She's like, Nadashiko Hoshi. And she's got the myrtle with her, which is
Yes.
cute. She's got her pot plant. um, she's just like, here, just like Akira Shinonome. She's here, and she's like, Yoko is taking a leave of absence. Where is Shizuru? Does anybody know? She's like, no, we don't have any idea what she's up to. It's just like, she missing again? It's just like, oh,
She's
has she gone delinquent?
becoming a
Ooh,
delinquent.
salacious. And she's just like, there's not much point to delinquent activities out here.
Yeah, that is the
It's like,
teacher saying that. It's like, yeah, he's right. It's the end of the world.
just like there's like, what are you gonna do?
Uh-huh.
what is why are you gonna have your punk phase in the apocalypse? Like, who are you rebelling against? You
Hey,
fucking losers.
listen.
I'm trying to help you kids. but but she's just like, oh well, I guess we'll have to, and she bursts in and she's like got like a huge backpack on.
The backpack the size of her
She's got
body,
like a comedy
essentially.
backpack on,
Yeah.
and she's just like, I just wanted to thank you, Sensei, for everything you've done for me. I'm dropping out of school.
Yep. Goodbye,
And
everyone.
then she bows and just turns on her heel and like runs out, and she drops something out of
She
her
drops like
bag.
a bunch of stuff and just doesn't even bother to pick it up.
And yeah, and because they had said, it's just like, well, the only thing we know about her, she said she solved the mystery of the cap, and I don't know what that's supposed to mean.
Yep.
um and the next scene is like regular Zenjiro, like talking Zenjiro, teaching her how to run the fucking train.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, yeah, you turn this thing and the thing, and I'm just like, I wish I could go with you, but I can't for reasons.
Yep.
Which is a great lampshade of just like, we're not going to tell you.
Nope.
Um,
Nope. Don't get used to this guy being around.
I don't know. He may continue being a thing, but I don't know if
I
he will.
mean, perhaps, but they do very much leave him behind at the end of this episode. So, like,
He cannot catch up to the train. But yeah, and she's just like, all right, I guess I'm ready to go. And right about that time, the other girls find her, and you're just like, yo, what the fuck? Are you really dropping out? She's just like, yeah, I'm going to Ikebukuro, and she's like, what the fuck do you mean you're going to
you're
Ikebukuro?
like, you can't do that.
She's
She's
just
like,
like, yeah,
yes, I can.
I'm gonna take this here train, and she starts giving it the gas, and it starts rolling. And they're
It
just like,
just
oh
starts
shit, it's
going.
actually moving. And they're just like, shit, I guess I'm going with you.
Yep, they all immediately hop
The
on.
blonde, yeah, the blonde is just like, I'm going with you, and the others are just like, fucking seriously, shit, okay, fine.
Oh, fine, us too. Yep.
They squeeze on, and the dog comes to, and he's
Yep, the dog's
just like,
coming.
me too. Trade time for dog.
Aw.
Roll down the window, let him stick his head
Alright.
out.
And
Um,
they're going.
yeah, that's it.
That's the episode.
That's the episode.
Um,
Then there's outro music that I didn't listen to because it didn't
it
grab
was
me
fine.
immediately.
It was like catching.
It
It
was
was like
normal.
fine. It was like okay. Um, I thought the intro was much more catchy, personally. But
Choo choo train.
yeah, so this certainly I didn't know what I was expecting. It was not this.
So
Um,
I'm inherently invested in the premise
yeah.
because they we didn't mention they really hook for the rest of the
Oh yeah.
show, which the last text you see on screen is Shizuru like sitting in the driver's seat, and the text 30 stops to Ikebukuro.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm
Yeah.
just like, I gotta know
He's like,
what happens in the stops. You're
yeah,
going to
come
30
on.
weird places in the apocalypse?
Yeah, I want to
Fuck
know
yeah.
the weird apocalypse. Yeah. um.
I want to know what happens.
Yeah, that is to say, I'm very invested, and I would love to watch more of this. I know I
Mhm.
have been bad. It's been hard for me to be on the anime choo-choo train lately, but this is one train that I'm all aboard for.
All right. Just torture this entire transit metaphor. I gotta say, I'm really on board for this, not just because of the premise, but also because of the execution. Because the show is beautiful.
It is. It's really nice looking.
The initial scenes in Agano really they also really tickle my like nature reclaiming
Yeah.
civilization
Oh, I loved
itch,
it.
which is
Yeah.
shit I love. They have that in Heavenly Delusion too, but I feel like it's
Yes.
done better here.
Yes, yes.
Like
I don't
everything,
remember if I watched Heavenly Delusion. I don't think I was on
all
that episode.
maybe, but
I don't think I
were
was.
you not on the episode scavenging TP scavenging in the apocalypse?
Nope,
But
I don't think I was, but listen, I liked this, and this is
yeah,
very, like I said, softcore, soft apocalypse. I like it.
it's gorgeous. It's so green and lush.
I mean, given the way that some of the stuff was, maybe this will get scarier at some points. I don't know,
Maybe,
but
but but
we'll have to see.
I'm excited to find out.
Yep,
Anyway,
me too.
if you'd like to tell us what horrible animal you would turn into in the town of Agado, you could do that at oneepisodecast@gmail.com.
That is one the word, not the number. Hey, I'm turning into a palace cat.
Mm,
You
you
could
you wish.
I know, I can't really predict that. We have a Twitter, we have a Blue Sky, we are at One Episode Cast. Send us tweets about choo-choo trains, I suppose.
Yeah,
Listen.
like engage in your train delusions.
Yep. Just train role play, train conductor moments. I don't know. Listen.
Send
We're
us
not
clips
getting
of
many more
Japanese
miles out of
guys.
this one.
Send us clips of Japanese guys threatening to kill you if you ruin their shot of a train coming into the station. Train
Does that happen?
otaku are some of the most insane people
Oh.
I have ever heard of.
Listen, they
But
have to have a hobby.
yeah, but they can be less crazy about
They
it.
could be a little nicer, I suppose. Yeah.
Um, but yeah,
This
like Like my inclination is I would like want to turn into like some sort of like sea mammal or like a majestic bird of prey or something. But given my nature, I would probably turn into like a fucking Cape buffalo or something and just stalk people down and gore them with my due to my anger.
uh, being a bird wouldn't be that bad. I think you could fly now,
You can fly, and
but
also you can't chew.
well, this podcast has left the station, I think.
Are you gonna force an exit on this one?
Yeah. Goodbye.
You see, I was just gonna leave.
I'm pushing you off the train now. Goodbye.